you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed.
Good day, welcome to our show, A Man's Journey. My name is Mo.
And I'm Tsepo. Thank you for joining us today. Today we have Reggie Peace with us. Reggie Peace is a young man from the township. He's an actor, singer, as well as a songwriter. And today he'll be joining us to tell us a bit more about himself and his life story.
A Man's Journey, we touch on people with stigmas are surrounding that, where they're from, their background. We look at the achievements in life. So welcome. We look at the journey of a man. You know, your achievements, where you come from. So we just want a bit of a background of who Reggie Peace is.
Hi, so I'm Reggie Peace. I was born in Port Elizabeth, born and bred in Port Elizabeth, in a community called Shorterville, and it was a tough upbringing, I would say, a humble upbringing in a shack, and with a family, with my mother, my father, my brothers, and yeah, into poverty. We were born into poverty, so you know all of the effects of that it has on a child that it also had on me, and with that also comes, with poverty comes a lot of pain. Especially mental pain, sometimes physical pain as well, and so that was my upbringing. But I've always been involved in sport, athletics since I was like 7 years old, and we're always writers and singers, and but they just never could express themselves because growing up into poverty, and then 2004 2005, that is when my mother and my father passed away, and that year we were moved to a children's home, and that is when my life changed. And then in the children's home, life is a children's home is also not the best place to be in, guys. So it was also tough growing up in there. And yeah, but eventually, I started focusing on race walking. That was the sport. Weird, that weird sport, guys. Weird and beautiful sport. But for me, that is what the sport did. The sport really it helped me. It helped me in a lot of ways. Discipline in a lot of ways, and yeah, so that is all the lessons that I learned using the sport, and I eventually became like Eastern Cape champion, and I thrived in that, and that opened doors so that I can go to university, and that's when I got to Johannesburg in 2012.
We focus on stigmas. We want to steer people away from those stigmas that actually attach to the bad past, the background, where they're from. I'm sorry for your loss when you lost your parents at a young age. But at living in a home or living in that, what motivates you?
They would all tell you they just want to run away from those circumstances, so that's what drives you, is knowing that there's better. And it was the same with me. It still is. You get successful guys, even like Kevin Hart now, who said in one of his docus, he's even working so hard now because he grew up hectically poor, and he doesn't want to go back there. So it's the same for me.
So basically, had a passion where you needed to push yourself to a point where you're not in that circumstance anymore, and that is actually quite understandable. What led you? What steps did you take to actually getting out of the situation that you were in at that time?
Sorry, just repeat that. Sorry, man.
What steps did you take that actually led you to push yourself to get out of that circumstance and situation at that time in your life?
Oh yeah, man. I actually had I pushed myself. I wanted the change, you know. So I knocked on doors myself. You know, if I really wanted something in the children, you know, so I knocked on that door and eventually it opened, you know. So as that young boy, and I think really, man, if you want change, you must be willing to ask. And they say what it's biblical principles that says ask and you receive, knock and the door shall be open. You know.
Definitely, definitely, that is the truth. uh, you said that you were first in sports and then moved to music. What how what was the change of mindset?
Yeah, it's always been there. I think, as I said, I just platform sport is way more easily accessible. I would say in the ghetto, growing up, or you know, in the hood, you can play soccer any time of the day. You can play touchies. You can play cricket any time of the day. But when it
Yeah,
comes to like writing or big platform for that, so it's just the perception at that time that you, so to speak. But if you look at it, it's just that we never had platform back then, you know. So I've always been writing, man. I've been writing since 14, and my brothers has been writing. I was acting in high school even. I did some productions. Just it wasn't my focus 100%, but I always did it. I always wrote. I always did music. I always did acting. So
so
Well,
like if you see another person in that situation, are you currently mentoring anybody that way we can talk about, like, or doing something in the community where we can you assist other people?
yeah, man, definitely. I think for me, everything that I'm taught I need to pass on, you know. So that is, you know. So I have my few people that I'm focusing on, and yeah.
is there possibly any way that anyone else maybe would like to get into your mentorship or under your wing in terms of writing or acting, singing, songwriting?
Yeah, definitely. Those are the fields, actually, the guys that I'm, you know, that I'm talking to.
Yeah.
It's young guys who's coming up as well, who also have dreams like me. I mean, all of us, you know, I think, man, yeah, and in the acting, in the writing, with the music.
Mm.
So it's a like I'm a private guy, but
Yeah.
I also just think charity should stay at
No,
home, man,
definitely.
guys.
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's just that we want to know so that because if there is people that would like to get in touch with you or looking for that mentorship, because this program is, or the series that we have created, it is for that, is to create that channel or to break that cycle in the communities. You know, a colored boy from the wood or something like that, somebody from out of that system that they are in, or where we look at. That's why we want to motivate. So when I talk about motivate, what what can you talk at if I was a youth, a young one now, and motivate at my past, this was my the cycle I have. I need to do the drugs, the normal cycle, the
Mm.
normal system. What would you
Yo,
advise me?
man, I've been reading lately, and I've just been I've noticed that, or what I've been reading says that actually none of us are special, eh? None of our problems are
Mm,
special. If you look at all the families in South Africa, literally probably 90%, if not more, even throughout the world, all of them have issues.
mm,
You can't tell me there's a family that doesn't have an issue.
Yeah.
It's just that there's issues on different levels, you know. Rich people struggle with rich people problems. And, it's just our struggles are a bit harder in terms of the basics, in terms of food, in terms of, that's a different struggle. But I would just say, be then the reason that your family changes, be then the reason a whole different path. Become the leader. I would encourage you, Uncle Donovan, right? He was a comrades athlete. He told me, being gives you reason to work hard. When the other people go out and party, you must work, man. You don't have the cash to every
yeah.
weekend go out there. And so that being in that position, struggling, it's your biggest advantage, because then you also think that we must realize that nothing comes easy. I'm seeing in our industry people say 10 years is an overnight success. So it takes you 10 years to get that one gig that will change your life. So also work hard,
Definitely.
so also work hard, persist. If you really want to change, you need to be hungry, guys. You need to. I've been working hard. I've struggled a lot emotionally. You will struggle a lot emotionally, especially if you come from a traumatic background.
Mm,
You will want to give up. It's much easier to want to give up, but the narrow road, that is where it really takes, it's hard work. I mean, the guys that I'm surrounded by now, I actually see now why the people are so good at what they're doing, is
mm.
because they work hard. We work hard,
No,
so
definitely.
really, the young people, set the goal, set the goal. If it is, man, I just want my family out of Westbury. I'm just making an example. I want my
Mm,
family to stay in a better place somewhere in Josie. Then you write down that goal, and then with that goal there, you start praying for those who
Mhm.
believe in God. And
Yeah.
mm,
you start looking now, and you start believing, and you start looking. That is how all my goals that I've
mm.
achieved right now. That is what I've done.
Wow.
It's a goal. I set the goal, then I make my intentions clear. Okay, this is what I want.
Mm,
Then I start visualizing, then I start affirming, then I start praying, then I start focusing all my energy on that goal. Then I go and look for opportunities where, how can I create this? How can I make this a reality? I also think people must realize they actually create their own lives. We are the
mm.
creators of our own realities. I mean, literally, you create daily your own life.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Very true with that. So, how did it feel for you getting onto a show such as Generations?
Man,
Because that's
I
one big
was shooting,
achievement.
Yeah.
I was shooting a scene with Vusi Kunene,
Mm.
Mm,
Jack Mabaso,
yeah,
and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I'm nervous, man. Like just before we shoot the scene, and I'm nervous because this is Jack
Mm.
Mabaso.
yeah,
This
The big
is
dog.
But at that moment, it also made me realize that okay, Reggie, you worked hard to get here, man. You actually you worked hard to get here. This is your
yeah,
moment. Give your best. You know. So
Mm.
yeah,
I'm not gonna. That is also what people who are going through struggles must realize. All the pain that you're going through are preparing you for the breakthrough. Are preparing you. Are making you ready so that you can. So
Mm.
all of what you're going through, and I mean, either way, it was surreal, but it also was. I needed to remind myself, dude, come man, wake up, give your best. So
yeah.
I'm
Mm.
prepared as well, man. It's not you can't come here and be scared. You need to show you're hungry. And another thing with Jack Mabaso at that time, we did that one scene and we did it. It felt good. And then he was like, okay, let's give it another go. Let's go again. Because for me, yo, man, it's
Yeah.
humbling to see that even legends want to improve every day.
Hmm.
Mm. Yeah, if they're not around to mentor you, even into who are we not to mentor somebody else, even.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with this whole pandemic, COVID, what can we, how can I say, what would you like to tell us during this pandemic?
Create. I think if you look at it once again, I'll refer to biblical principles. It's just that a big secret for me, and I say it's a secret, but it's not a secret, is it has been quiet time.
Yeah.
There has been getting quiet and getting in touch with myself, meditation, visualization, and creating it. So, I mean, for me, I'd really just encourage people. This, like, the biblical principle that I wanted to refer to was that 40 days that,
Mm.
we talked about Jesus going away for 40 days and just being there in the quiet.
Mm.
I mean, this lockdown, how many days has it been? Almost 2 months now, going to 60 days. So
I'm
if you
way
look at it,
over that
man,
now.
Way over it, about
yeah, but
70, some 78 days, yeah.
but it's for me. I think also people had the chance to recoup now,
Mm.
after working so long. But I understand that people need to eat. You need to eat as well.
Yeah.
So I would really say, man, if it's really difficult, if it's really you're struggling financially, reach out to people, and if like really people now, especially there's unity more than ever during this pandemic. And if you are creative, especially a young creative, I would encourage you. Now is the time to write, man. Now is the time to write that movie, that music that you've been keeping. Now is the time to try new things, even, but inside you have your own space. And yeah, I really also encourage you, like, get quiet, guys. That was literally the secret for me, like getting more in touch with myself.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great stuff. Great stuff. So, thank you very much for your time. Uh, is there anything else that we can expect from Reggie in the near future?
Yeah, definitely. Way more music is coming up, Reggie Peace. And I would definitely like to be more involved in communities as well, you know. So watch out for more projects and stuff like that, especially that reaches out um, to to
We
young champions out there.
we actually never spoke about your music. What genre are you in, so that the people can know who Reggie Peace is?
Music wise, I mean, I'm. It's a very it's a very fresh sound, man. I don't even know how to put it in one genre. Because someday if you feel like I'm inspired to write a love song. The next day
Yeah.
I'm upset because I saw some racist act that happened.
Mm.
Then I want to write about that, you know. Then I want to dance up and down, you know. So it depends on the emotion. There's no real genre attached to it when it
Okay.
comes to my music.
So you
And
call
where
it
can they
abstract.
find your music? And
Reggie Peace on iTunes and SoundCloud and on social media, Instagram, Facebook.
what is your handle?
Reggie
Okay, just
Peace.
Reggie Peace. That is
Yeah, just
Reggie Peace, Peace.
yeah, that piece.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. I know, you, like you said, you're a very busy man. We appreciate your advice and getting to know you actually, where you're from, your
Thank you, bro.
circumstances.
Thank you so much for what you are doing. Like for the change that you're bringing and just being intentional. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, thank you so much.
Thank you, Reg. Thank you for joining us. We really do appreciate it.
Sepo, thanks, brother.
Awkward.
Sure.
Mukhta, see you, sir.
Okay, sir. No problem. Thank you very much for Reggie. As you've seen, what I always say, your background don't matter. YouTube live. Um, it will represent Youth Day. We got some great legends there, which will be ex Bafana player Willem Jackson, as well as ex coach for Platinum. And yeah, he's got a huge portfolio. We got Mateo Dube, which was a brand manager turned agricultural farmer. Uh, and we got Reggie Porter from the community directly, mashup director, ex-teacher, started doing his community work. We look forward to see you next week. And then Thursday, we got another lineup. We got Wayne Jacobs, entrepreneur. So we're looking forward to seeing you. Thank you very much. I'm Mo.
I'm Sepo. Thank you very much for joining us on our show today. Don't forget, please do like and subscribe to our channel, which is CMD, Community Media Development, on YouTube, as well as on social media. Catch us on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah. Thank you very much.